Does racial profiling still exist in South Africa? Cutting Edge takes a look at two cases where customers say they were ill-treated because of the color of their skin.
He said to me, he saw me steal this and put it in my bag.
She patted me down, and while she was patting me down, my partner said, I was with Tina the whole time, so why aren't you searching me? He looked at my partner and said, we don't need to search you.
So when they took us from the shop, they decided to handcuff us. They decided to handcuff us, and they paraded us through the mall.
You're this game. You're this game that you like.
Five hours later, I'm still seated here, being accused of stealing a lip gloss worth of 16 rands.
29-year-old Masilelo Nyati says she was interrogated and humiliated for almost 8 hours after being falsely accused of stealing. On the 26th of October 2021, Masilelo and her friend went to a Dis-Chem store at a mall in Johannesburg. She says she was a regular at the store where she tinted her eyebrows every month. However, on this fateful day, when she and her friend left the store, they were accosted by a security guard at the parking lot. He accused Masilelo of stealing a lip gloss and sent her and her friend back to the store to be searched.
When we got by the counters, he said, I must take out everything in my bag. He wants to search, to see what's there. That's how I emptied my bag on the counter. Immediately after I emptied my bag on the counter, he picked up my lip gloss, this particular one. He said to me, he saw me steal this and put it in my bag, okay? You need to see me on the CCTV footage. I then said to him, okay, can you please allow me to see the footage? Maybe I can retrace my steps and tell you what I was doing. Because if it's this you are saying that I stole, you can clearly see this is used, and I've bought it, but I'll steal it. He refused and said, they don't have to do that. It's their personal property. And at this point, they don't have to prove anything to me.
Fortunately, Masilelo kept her old receipts. In a desperate attempt to prove her innocence, she phoned her mother, and by a stroke of luck, her mother found the receipt from the previous month. She was relieved because it clearly showed the barcode of her daughter's previous lip gloss purchase. She sent her a picture.
Here's the receipt. They refused to see it.
Why did they refuse to see it? What did they say? Why?
They said they know these kind of people. Okay, the statement was, we know you kind of people. For all we know, this could have been forged. And then my statement was, okay, fine. I hear you on the point, it could have been forged. Can you take my Dis-Chem card? Here's the receipt on the phone. Compare the receipt numbers. You should be able to get a printout. Sometimes if you lose something, or maybe you buy something and then 2 months later you say you don't want it, they go to that same Dis-Chem card and then they print out the receipt. Why couldn't they do it this time?
When Masilelo's mother arrived at the store with the receipt, hoping it would vindicate her daughter, she was given the cold shoulder.
Because I don't know get lega sleep. San chorungu utshwaretse motho wa hana se lebelela. Manager a ne tshwantse a tere sleep ya se lebelela. Di dirile phoso. Re a gopela tshwarelo. Motho mongwe le mongwe di a phoso. A zanga ba apologize, a zanga ba lebela sleep, a zanga ba re fa footage.
Masilelo says after being detained for 5 hours, she was then moved to the mall's holding cells as the store would be closing in an hour.
So guys, you see, we are arrested in handcuffs for stealing a lip gloss that I've had, that I've got a receipt. The new South Africa, this is your Dis-Chem South Africa. Your Dis-Chem that you like.
So when they took us from the shop, they decided to handcuff us. They decided to handcuff us, and they paraded us through the mall. They were probably looking at us like common thieves. Mind you, all this for 17 rands back. Pure handcuffs.
Zamantungwa Mbeki the acting provincial manager at the South African Human Rights Commission, says Masilelo's rights were violated.
If a person is entered into a particular building, for instance, they do also have some rights within that institution. You can't be detained for a long time. It has to be a reasonable time, for instance, while they're just going through your bag, and then they're supposed to release you if on face value there's actually nothing that they're detaining you for, because in essence these are not the police, so they're not mandated or have the same powers as the police. And you'll understand that rights of detained persons in the Constitution are also protected, but it's only specific people who can detain you under those conditions.
She says 7 hours after being detained, the police had not been called. She realized she would be spending the night in the mall's holding cells.
After 7, we started calling the police because we felt like the law says security officers do not have the right to arrest. They detain and they call the police. Now, out of everything...
So they did not call the police?
No one. We are the ones that called the police. They did not bother calling the police. I don't know what was the end game. But no police were called until we started calling the police.
When the police arrived, she says they could not find evidence of the theft and let her go.
They asked for the statement and the arresting officer. The arresting officer was not there. The officer tried to call him and ask what is happening and what was the story. This is around 8 o'clock to 8. Then they said, okay, come back. You can't be arresting people, and then when we come, you're not here to do a handover. And he says, let's see their failure. The police then said, but there's no case. How can someone steal something that she has actually a receipt of? That's how the police allowed us to go.
The next day, on the 27th of October, Masilelo opened a criminal case against Dis-Chem. She also went to the store's head office and spoke to the head of security.
On the 28th, when Mr. Benjamin called me and apologized. Well, they were apologizing then, but this apology was different because it came with the feedback that I needed. Well, apologize, the guy made a mistake. His words exactly, like, the footage clearly shows me taking something and putting it down and then walking out. From there, well, since the 26th I was not okay, but that hit differently. That sent chills down my spine because I couldn't understand why I had gone through what I had gone.
The trauma and humiliation that she suffered was too much for Masilelo. The experience took a toll on her health. She sought medical help and says she was diagnosed with severe anxiety and stress and was further referred to a psychologist.
That time I'm not sleeping, I'm not eating, that's how I set up an appointment. The appointment was for the 30th of October. In the morning, when I was supposed to go to the appointment, when I woke up, I couldn't get out of bed. My right side was paralyzed.
Masilelo was rushed to the hospital where she was told that she'd suffered a stroke. She says she stayed in the hospital for almost 3 months. Her mother says all of this could have been avoided.
This came now ya ka nna aka bona ba respondile right. Ka baka la hore nka be le hore ke batho ba ba kgonne go bona because ba tsebishitse hore motho hospital after tabele ya kwa ka re o lo boya kwa ya ba 3 days ke a tlobetsa ke stroke. Then mara ba tseba hore o kae o betshile ke stroke ko hospital a zanga ba itshwenya a zanga kore a ona ntwe ile ba idira bona ba ile ba reng ka mogwekile ka kwa yena ba re la ba ipone phosho.
If, as she says, it is indeed the trauma she suffered from the incident that caused her stroke, what recourse does she have?
It would have to be a very clear line that it was particularly this incident that led to me having this particular stroke. And that is why you would then have to approach an attorney who would be able in the court papers to articulate and draw the line with evidence maybe from a doctor and all of those other things. And then you would be able to bring a case to the court to say that actually because of incident 1, 2, 3, I suffered the following damages. And then the court would be able to apportion those.